In the United States, the history of aviation is settled fact. Orville and Wilbur Wright are the undisputed singular inventors of the airplane. But travel to Brazil, and you will hear a different story. There, the Wright brothers are frequently viewed as historical frauds, tinkerers who merely managed to launch a glorified glider off a wooden rail. In Paris during the early 1900s, Alberto Santos-Dumont was the face of the air, the true father of aviation, according to much of the world. This century-old engineering debate is rooted in the very definition of what constitutes a flying machine. To figure out who actually invented the airplane, we have to look past national pride and agree on a precise, technical definition of what an airplane is. Look at this checklist. To qualify as true flight, an aircraft must meet 3 criteria. 1, it must be powered by an onboard engine. 2, it must be aerodynamically controlled in the air. And 3, it must take off unassisted. Running the historical claims of both the Wrights and Santos-Dumont through this specific framework reveals the reality of how aviation actually began. Whichever inventor satisfies all 3 requirements holds the objective title of first in flight. We start with the first requirement, power. For most of the 19th century, steam engines required massive iron boilers and heavy water tanks, weight that made lift impossible. In the late 1800s, engineers like Carl Benz developed the lightweight internal combustion engine. By burning liquid fuel inside its own cylinders, this motor stripped away the heavy external boilers entirely. Originally designed to move carriages across land, these engines possessed a thrust-to-weight ratio that finally made heavier-than-air flight mathematically viable. Orville and Wilbur Wright built their own custom aluminum block engine, while Santos-Dumont adapted existing French automotive motors. Both integrated this lightweight technology into their designs, so both inventors passed the powered test. This is a museum display of the Wright Flyer. In 1903, the Wright brothers introduced a mechanism called wing warping to solve the problem of lateral control. By using cables to twist the wingtips, the pilot could bank and steer the craft. This system allowed them to maintain stability. By 1905, the Wrights were flying in controlled circles for up to 30 minutes at a time. But the Wrights were notoriously secretive. Fearing patent theft, they conducted their early tests in remote locations, hiding their progress from the public and formal aviation authorities. There was also a mechanical catch to those early flights. Their aircraft lacked wheels. To get airborne, they relied on a long wooden launch rail and the strong coastal headwinds of Kitty Hawk to generate initial lift. Because the Wrights required those high winds, and eventually resorted to mechanical catapults to push their heavy planes off the ground, their critics argue they fail the unassisted takeoff test. In 1906, Alberto Santos-Dumont took a different approach. A wealthy heir to a coffee fortune, he performed his test flights as transparent spectacles in front of massive crowds. Santos-Dumont was operating under the rules of the newly formed Fédération Aéronautique Internationale. To claim an official record, the aircraft had to lift off from a flat surface under its own power, without the help of wind or rails. This is Santos-Dumont's 14 bis airplane. Notice the bottom structure. It uses a conventional wheeled landing gear instead of skids. Rolling across an open field near Paris, the 14 bis gathered speed and lifted into the air using only the thrust of its own onboard engine. No wooden rails, no gravity catapults. In the formal records of an unassisted, publicly verified takeoff, Santos-Dumont holds the victory. Looking back at our checklist clarifies these parallel achievements. The Wrights conquered sustained aerodynamic control, while Santos-Dumont proved the unassisted takeoff. If you judge solely on unassisted takeoff, Santos-Dumont wins. But if your metric is sustained aerodynamic control, the Wrights were years ahead. The obsession with crowning a single inventor obscures how major technological breakthroughs actually occur. Both of these men built their machines upon decades of prior discoveries. They used internal combustion engines developed in Germany and lift equations derived from earlier gliders. Invention is a cumulative, global process. The Wright brothers contributed the fundamental aerodynamics, the ailerons and control systems that still dictate how planes maneuver through the sky today. Santos-Dumont contributed the self-contained, wheeled takeoff model that defines how modern airport runways operate. Today, commercial jets roll down the tarmac and lift off on wheels, while fighter jets are launched off aircraft carriers using mechanical catapults.
Ultimately, modern aviation requires both of these legacies.